Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Welcome to another episode of Inside the Firm. I am Alex Lumberjack Gore. I'm here with Lance, middle name Patience.
Wow!
Cayko. He's full of it.
Sending this right to my wife.
She
and
needs
my kids.
to know.
And my ex-wife.
She needs to know. Everyone
All
needs
need
to know. But everyone needs to know about RevitRocketship.com, where you will take your Revit skills to the moon. You learn how to model families and buildings, specifically a house. You get our template. You get our training. You get our training on how to start your own project. It is a great system to make you even more rewarded by being more responsible in the way that you model RevitRocketship.com.
Yeah, I want you to also check out ARCAT.com. I don't even have my reads up, but I'm about to have my reads up here in 1 second, Al. Even though I have all of the... Man, do I have a lot of notes? Way too many notes. Holy cow.
Definitely ready. I have patience for you.
As more businesses and tenants demand green design in their buildings, LEED certification is more important than ever. And while ARCAT is known for being red, they can help you go green. ARCAT provides thousands of LEED reports from building product manufacturers on how their products can help you make the green choice that's right for your project. Head over to ARCAT.com and find the information you need for LEED. Check those guys out. I need you to check them out. I'm also going to need you to go to PellaLuxury.com/the firm because they support us so that we can help support you with quality information on Inside the Firm podcast. A world-class collection of brands brought together to provide window and door solutions to the building industry and beyond. Duratherm and Riley are the true pioneers of industry. They are doing what no one else has done. Building and designing beyond the status quo. These brands do not push beyond limits. They set them. Explore PellaLuxury.com/the firm today. PellaLuxury.com/the firm today. Al, back to you.
And so I will take that and put it right back to you.
Yay! Okay. If you're watching on the YouTube here, I've got a article pulled up from the National Association of Home Builders. Love being on there. They are not sponsoring this podcast, but if they were, that would be awesome because their newsletter is fantastic. I highly recommend everybody sign up to it. You can subscribe to it. Actually, I've got it right up here. I'm just on this article. It's called "How to Recession-Proof Your Business." So, see if you think this is good advice.
Okay, what's the advice?
As many builders learned during the previous downturn, weathering recession requires embracing lean business processes. Does that sound familiar to you, Al?
It does.
By finding ways to deliver value on essential services while eliminating waste is easier said than done. NAHB members Jake Harris, CEO of BuildWallet, and Robert Corral of Carroll Construction shared some lean business strategies during a recent presentation as part of NAHB's Young Professionals Week.
Okay.
Yeah. So, quote, recessions are pivotal times to focus on business fundamentals, particularly during these periods of high inflation and rising interest rates, Carroll said. Businesses that are prepared will have the best chance of succeeding and maximizing opportunities to grow. One of the methods discussed during the presentation focused on member-to-member collaboration. When fellow members of an HBA Home Builders Association, seek out opportunities to do business with one another, they are helping ensure their clients receive high-quality service, their companies maintain a steady amount of work, and the overall local industry remains strong. Transparency with the client was another topic highlighted, especially during economic downturns. Open communication about finances is vital for maintaining a trusting relationship between the builder and the customer. Harris showed that those who have confidence in their work, have exceptional financial discipline, and regularly share budget status updates with the customer will best weather a recession. Quote, transparency breeds trust, end quote. Clients respect, quote, clients respect your business when you are open and honest about your spreadsheets and financials. He said, the companies who believe and trust in their processes are confident in the value of their services are the ones who will survive a recession. So if you go to architectsguide2.com and you're ready to level up as an architect transitioning into a builder, Alex has talked about this before, is like you can extend your work load and pipeline, because a lot of those projects, if they're approved with financing, that money is set aside by the bank. It's another 12 months of life that you could do. And then through our guide of how to teach you how to become an architect into builder, you're going to see that that's exactly what we do. We do an open book spreadsheet that is updated continuously. Everybody knows exactly where they're spending their money. They know exactly what we're charging, and people love it.
Absolutely. Yep. And all the worksheets are there and everything, so the course is open book.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep.
Sharing is caring.
Cool. Hey, if that's it for that, I have a question.
It was just short and sweet. Yep.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If you were going to,
okay,
how would you ruin a company with 3 easy steps?
I have 3 things, and Al has a bonus thing to give us at the end here. So the first thing I would do if I was to ruin my company, okay, I would put all of our eggs into one project typology. We would only do donut shops.
Okay, good.
And considering the fact that I met with a person yesterday to do a donut shop in Longmont, and we did not vibe at all, and then we both said this is not a good fit. And in an email after the meeting, we would already be bankrupt.
because we only did donut shops, and then it didn't work out. Funny.
It didn't work out at all. That's the first thing I would do. Because you guys obviously get, like, this is a facetious take, but like if you put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. And during good times, you can specialize and go very, very far and become an industry leader. But when that industry goes away, you have nothing. You're an industry leader of nothing. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Of nothing. And it could go away. I mean, seriously, like what if single family tanks? What if multifamily tanks? What if commercial tanks? Like, who knows what you're doing? But like, you gotta have a diverse set of project typology.
Yep.
Or you're in trouble.
Yep.
I think. And maybe you're not. Maybe somehow you just look. What you're doing is you're just increasing your chances of failure, right? Because like, yes, it's possible. People who are screaming into their headphones right now listening to this. Sure. Maybe you're the typology you're working in, which you have a niche in, and you've maximized that niche, pans out, and you win the lottery of guessing. Totally possible.
Yep.
But why chance that? Especially if you have employees. Step 2, Al.
Okay.
Never ever.
Oh man. Wow.
Even think about advertising your services. Rely on word of mouth only.
All right. Fair enough. Know what? This is the contentious one, because some people do.
Some people do.
And they do just fine.
Yep. But if you are trying to build if we truly believe strength through diversity, you hear that talking point all the time. Mm-hmm. If we truly believe in this strength through diversity stuff, then don't you want to be bringing in potential clients through advertising and word of mouth?
Yes.
Seems like a good idea. Step 3. Give yourself the worst business advice.
Are you just talking to yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror? Hey, you. I got something for you.
And take the worst business advice as gospel. Example. It's too hard to raise fees with existing clients.
Spoiler alert. Our shot of Monday morning coffee is probably about that.
Yeah. So let's jump into that. So these 3 things, just to kind of be blunt about it, like the firm that I moved to that is now defunct and literally is not in existence in Colorado anymore. They literally did all these things. And as I just said, they are defunct. They are no longer existent. They were amazing in terms of architecture. Top notch. Like on the front range, equivalent to Studio B architects in Aspen. All the amazing work that Scott Lindau does up there in the high country. But they didn't do these three things. Like they put all their eggs in one basket. Boom. Once the single family fell in the Great Recession, they're out of there. And then they never even thought about advertising. Literally until we were advertising as a competitor. Relied on word of mouth only. And then the third thing was, one of the principals actually told me it's too difficult to raise fees. You can't raise fees. So I had, per the Price Whisperer.
Ooh, wow.
Super famous dude in terms of pricing. Like, he is the world's guru of pricing. And I had him on Monday Morning Coffee. His episode will air on December 12th, 2022. And I asked him, you'll see here, if you can actually raise fees. Here we go.
One of my former bosses, so you say increase prices, does that apply to existing customers? Because one of my former bosses, he was very adamant about this. And by the way, their company went defunct, it went flat. They actually went, they split up and everything. And now we were one of their biggest competitors. But he said, it's very difficult to increase your fees with an existing client. Would you agree with that?
No, it's not.
Why not?
Because if you think that it's difficult to increase prices to existing customers, you have accepted that you are a commodity, right? And in a commodity market, the lowest price always win, right?
Yeah.
And meaning that you have to find ways of decommoditize your offering, and that can be all different things. It could be. Again, it could be your particular expertise. You have expertise that few others have. It could be the speed of delivery. It could be certain guarantees. It could be anything that is valid for your particular business.
Yeah.
And for your particular customers, right? But if in fact you are if your company is being perceived as a commodity, then you get exactly that reaction that you mentioned.
Thoughts, Mr. Gore?
Yeah, architecture shouldn't be a commodity business. Commodities are normally defined as essentially like ore.
Yeah, like gold. I know. I instantly went to the same thing. Gold, silver, corn.
Yeah, all that other stuff. And then you can even level up. Okay, maybe there's some small changes. Maybe it's something that gets added, but it's still like a base item, right? Custom architecture is not a base item whatsoever, right? It's not a commodity. So good point. I can't wait to watch that. Everyone stay tuned. I'm going to stay tuned.
Per was solid. Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. I have a secret
bonus.
Number 4 step.
A bonus step to ruin your company.
Yep. Be worse at communication and execution than the engineers and other consultants you work with.
Be worse.
And that's not to say that they're bad, but if
shout out Eric Bertzlaff to Raptor. You are amazing at communication.
Yep. There's a bunch that are good, but if you are the slowest leg, if you are the last to turn in your work, the last to get things done, the last to communicate, the last to set up anything or plan or organize, which is like a lot what you're doing when you're doing these site plan reviews things, guess what? You're not going to get those referrals because you are the slowest leg. And here's what's crazy. Mm-hmm. I know for a fact that developers and contractors, like contractors as a group and developers as a group, talk to each other. Mm-hmm. Because I've heard like, hey,
they even talk even more. Think about like, let's say you're doing just a house with somebody, with a developer, right?
Yeah.
Your design process might take 3 months. The build process is going to take 12 months. I'm just saying the length.
Yep. But essentially, like we've even heard like, hey, are you going to use this consultant? Because do not do that. Mm. So the same could be said for you.
Absolutely.
Yep. And it's normally time and communication. That's normally what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, our good friend Marcus Aurelius, who identifies as a ghost, he's coming back to the show again in place of Nick here to read for us. So Marcus Aurelius reads.
The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane.
That we live in strange times.
Yeah.
And what's crazy about it is both sides thinks the other side is insane. And it's crazy. So Marcus Aurelius coming from the grave with some wisdom for us.
With some wisdom.
And here's the thing I would say about that, especially with the politics, is a lot of people say like sitting on the middle is fence sitting and you shouldn't do that. And I actually agree with that. But I would say is like, let's say you are for a party, you can see what your party is doing and saying like, that's insane. That's insane.
What I think society is failing to do is they're failing to, whether you're on side A or side B, right? Yeah. Let's say you're on side A, okay? Is they're failing to test like something that is happening to side A and running it through and seeing if it pans out with side B. You know, applying it to everybody, right?
Yeah.
So the example is like censorship on all these social media platforms, right? Well, it's clearly overwhelmingly going in one direction, the censorship, right?
Factually.
Okay, there you factually. Yeah,
Sorry,
I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious, right?
Yeah.
So, have you people who agree with the censorship? Have you actually sat there and thought, like, am I okay if I ever if the pendulum actually ever swung in the other way? And it might with Elon Musk taking over Twitter in 1 week. Are you okay with the censorship if it happens to you? Right? Just running it through the test. That's all. I just think society would be a lot better if they just said, what if that happened to me? And they had a little bit more empathy on the other, being on one side or the other, and just thought about it in that way of like, and then you can come to, I think, objective truth.
Yep. And to give an example on both sides of political structure too, you could be a Republican and say, hey, when you are in office spending all this money, that is insane.
Right.
I do not support that whatsoever.
Right.
You could be on the other side, on the left side, and see what's happening to the populations and the city degeneracy. Can't even say that
Degeneracy.
word. In San Francisco and
San
LA.
Francisco,
And be like, this is insane.
San Francisco, your city is full of poop. And I'm not joking. And I want everybody to Google right now. Google $1.7 million toilet, San Francisco. Just look it up. It's hilarious.
So Pat McAfee, he's a sports guy. He took his crew to the Super Bowl, which was in LA, and they could not stop talking about how much poop was on the street.
It's real.
Yeah.
And you know what? When Al and I went there, what was that? That would have been 2007. 2007, I think, is when we went there.
Yep.
For the skyscraper competition. That I remember, it was like there was some of it. There wasn't a lot of it.
Yep.
But there was some of it. There were still some needles. I mean, if you go in like the tenderloin and stuff, but apparently now it's like, oh no, it seems like it's everywhere.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Which is nuts, completely nuts. What do we got next, Al?
Well, let's hard transition into A.R.E. Jeopardy and bring down the crew.
Yay.
Ready?
Gresh is a styly guy. I like it.
Yeah,
Stylish.
Dave Corp. Question number 1. Finished floor coverings shall not extend closer to what distance to walls?
Interesting question.
Is this A, a quarter inch, B, an eighth inch, C, a third of an inch, or D, a half inch?
Third of an inch.
Finished floor covering should not exceed closer than what distance to walls? I should have wrote down the chapter so that I could chapter and verse and tell you.
Yeah. Good question.
It is D, half inch, and it
Wow.
can be covered with trim.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Question 2. This one is an old one.
An oldie but a goodie.
Oldie but a goodie. N. Joyce. No, this should be, N. Joyce.
And
in
joints.
Joints.
He literally wrote it.
One of these days, I'll get good sleep for a week.
Oh, I thought you did. Oh, he got
A
woke up.
day.
Okay.
A day is not a week. End joints in double top plates shall be offset not less than blank inches. Is it A, 24, B, 36, C, 42, or D, 48?
I
So it's top plates. They should be
I know this.
offset
I know this.
by
I know
either A,
am
24, B, 36 inches, C, 42 inches, or D, 48 inches. Can't have it. Reeves, we're not having that. Okay?
What do you got? Yeah, what is it?
Okay, Reeves has to decide. Okay, D, 48 inches.
Wow. All right. What do we got for scores? One. None. 1 to none. All right. We don't have a tiebreaker.
Let's go.
So let's go. Number 3. What is SDC? Is it A, Season Design Committee, B, Special Design Committee, C, Seismic Design Category, D, Specially Designed Caisson? Reeves already has an answer. Tyler? C is correct. Seismic Design Category. Go 2-1, 2-1. Here we go. Number 4. What are swirls of air created when wind is forced around objects and are most noticeable when wind flows around taller buildings? Is it A, swirly boys, B, wind gusts, C, vortices, D, wind swirls? What do we got? C? The correct answer is C. Now we have a tie. Frickin' Tyler.
Both of you.
No, Reeves got 3.
Yeah, Reeves won.
One.
C. C is correct.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you missed the first one.
No.
I got one.
Oh, my bad.
Where are we going to eat?
Stay
Stay
tuned.
tuned.
Love that place.
If you next, we should say if you don't have an answer, it's Runza. It is
Horrible.
I'm gonna be sick.
Lance.
All right. If you like this episode on the iTunes, please leave us a 5-star review. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, leave us a positive comment. We will see you next week.